Welcome back into the Infinity Sports
ridiculous amounts about NFL. If you couldn't tell by listening.
Carl, why are you speaking?
Because we are back on air.
Carl, we will scold you now. Bad Carl, 5-minute timeout.
You know who else got scolding though? Ray Rice and the Baltimore Ravens, and that'll bring us back.
We do have to. No, wait, Jake. Before we go to the Ravens, we did miss a little bit of the division. So just really quickly, can we go through who we had from first to fourth? Jake, who did you have in the AFC South?
In the AFC South, we had first to fourth. Colts in first at 10-6, Texans second at 8-8, Jaguars in third at 4-12, and Titans in fourth also at 4-12.
Carl.
I had the Colts, then the Titans, then the Texans, and then the Jags.
I am in 100% agreement with Carl. Okay, so we go now to the AFC North. We just ruled out Cleveland, all three of us, as the last team. I think all three of us also picked we all picked Cincinnati to win the division. We were going to the third place team, and I was talking about how I think Pittsburgh is a good team. I think Marcus Wheaton is much improved. And I think they're finishing in second at 10-6. So, Jake, what do you think?
Well, sorry not to vary anything, but I too am high on the Steelers, to be very blunt. The Steelers also finished second place in that division.
You know, that's a double-edged sword. You realize that last punt, to be very blunt, is a double-edged sword?
This is my realm.
Your realm? Can I hand you the realm, Jake? Okay, Carl, what realms are you in right now?
I'm in the realm of... I don't even know. I've got no answer to that.
It's a good question.
I think the Steelers still need to make more improvements, so right now I have the Ravens slightly above them, but honestly, they're about the same. I wouldn't be surprised if either team's better. I don't really care who's better. Cincinnati's making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. One of those two teams both those two teams are going to get draft picks that are between 12 and 18.
Oh, that's a bold prediction there. I have Baltimore at 7-9, and Pittsburgh's at 10-6. So no bad draft pick.
Really?
Baltimore at 7-9. I think they're still a decent team. Even last year they were a decent team, and I don't think they've really lost much. Jake.
I think the Ravens will be able to fly their way into a winning record. 9-7 for Baltimore, closing out an easy season with closing out an easy schedule with 4 straight wins at Miami, first Jacksonville, at Houston versus Cleveland.
At Miami isn't going to be anything easy, and neither will. That's not going to be easy.
Nope.
But that is a prediction, and we do have to respect the power of the prediction.
Yes,
so
we do.
That's it. We all know who Carl's third place team is. It's Pittsburgh, and he could probably give an explanation, but I think it would go something along the lines of, I just really don't like Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Didn't I already give an explanation for Pittsburgh? I said I really don't care. They're both going to get a draft pick between
12 and 18. We have one more division, and if anybody, can we get this clear the air here? It's the AFC West. Denver. Are we all in agreement here? Denver wins. Carl
Mogline about 5 minutes ago off the air.
Yeah, but mine is actually
Denver will be strong in the air, and that's why they'll go 13-3 and win the division.
I agree with 13-3. Carl, you have no record, but are you taking Denver?
I'm taking Denver on the top, and can we please all agree that Oakland's on the bottom?
I agree.
3-13 for Oakland.
I have them at 4-12. Carl, you don't have a record. Second place. I have San Diego. I think this team is better than they were last year. I think Keenan Allen actually will have a terrific season and bump himself. Possibly, I think he'll be borderline top 5 receiver this year. I think he has great potential this year, especially just his development as a player. Ryan Matthews solidified in there. Donald Brown adds some depth to the running back position, not to mention Danny Woodhead. So I think they have a very good distribution there. I like the Chargers to come in second. Carl.
I completely agree. I've been high on Keenan Allen for a long time now, and I think that the Chargers are a good team. I think that Phillip Rivers is still a good quarterback, to be honest with you, and you know what? Go Chargers, go.
That wasn't a San Diego accent.
That was like a half one.
That wasn't even like that was a weird accent. Jake, so, you know what? You live in California, And San Diego is the closest team, I think, to you. Do you think San Diego will give California, or at least the lower half of California, or at least a little bit of the lower half of California, the part that isn't actually Niners fans or Raiders fans, a reason to cheer?
If 8-8 counts as a reason to cheer, sure, but I don't think it is. Second place, 8-8, but in the AFC, who knows if they'll make a playoff spot out of that. Find out in like 60 seconds.
I think this is the first division we've agreed on every single spot. In third place, we all have Kansas City. Wow. That is monumental. That me, Jake, and Carl all agree on something.
Everybody high-five the computers at once.
Although I'm not sure how I got Kansas City going 8-8, but
Jake, you missed the high-five!
Well, never mind, guys. We didn't even agree on the high five. All of this is null and void.
Nope.
Okay. You know what? I think we should go into the I think we should go AFC playoff picks now because having everybody's words are difficult. I just shouldn't talk anymore.
So
Jake,
score prediction. I will talk for you. Division seedings go first. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Who gets that number 1 bye? For me, number 1 goes to Denver.
Okay, for me, number 1 goes to New England, which I said in the other show. Cole.
For me, number 1 also goes to New England.
Oh.
Okay, Jake.
Okay, and if I may, Jake, to counter that face of disgust, I've got the Broncos as the 2 seed, and they're probably a win off. You know, you're talking about...
I have them the same record, and getting second on a tiebreaker. Denver, 2. Jake, I'm going to take a guess and say that New England is 2 for you.
I also have Denver losing to New England, but I feel like the Patriots will have that trademark loss to the Jets, and they'll
Yeah, we had them losing. We just have seeded, Jake.
Yeah, it's
12
just
and 4, New England, 2 seed.
Okay, 3 seed. Jake, because your picks are interesting. You go.
Oh, why, thank you.
The interesting wasn't necessarily a good thing.
Oh, okay then. Well, the Bengals earned their stripes, and they also earned the number 3 seed at 11 and 5.
Okay, Carl.
I like the Colts more than you guys do, and I have them as my 3 seed.
You guys, I have Colts as the 3 seed too. Way to
Oh.
generalize, Carl. Way to generalize. Didn't you just say don't make assumptions? Don't make assumptions, Carl.
We're doing a great job on agreeing this show so far.
Okay. So the 4. Here's my guess. I will make predictions on the predictions. 4 seed for me, Cincinnati. I don't know how I knew that one. For Carl, I'll say Cincinnati, and for Jake, I will say Indianapolis. Oh my God, I think those guesses are terrific. Am I right?
Oh, Colts. You are right. It's only because they have a really bad O-line. I'm sorry.
No, it's only because we've already announced all our other picks, so therefore, obviously, he can call it.
No,
the reason they're the 4 seed.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so we go to wild card. This is the most interesting, so I think that we should announce both of them because I think that kind of goes hand in hand. Jake, 5th and 6th seed, the 2 wild cards. Who you got?
Wait, I gotta go first again?
Yes.
Alright. Well, like me going first here, the first wild card spot will be stolen by who else? The Steelers. Pittsburgh gets a 5 spot at 10 and 6. And if you look at everything else, only one team got 9 and 7 in the AFC, and that was the
Baltimore Ravens. I'm a good listener.
Playoff teams for the AFC North.
I'm a good listener. Carl, who are your 2 wild card teams?
Alright, I really don't have... I don't agree with Jake on these 2, actually, so I've got different wild cards. As I've said before, I like the Chargers a lot. I think they'll make it back to the playoffs. And I'm going to give you guys a surprise 6 seed that at least one of you is going to tell me I'm very stupid for picking. The Miami Dolphins.
Will not say you're stupid because they came close last year, and I think they're a better team than they were last year.
Tannehill's a better quarterback this year than he was last year.
I would agree. I think it would be kind of ignorant to say that this team, and maybe they will be worse, but to say they got worse in terms of just on paper from what we've seen, I wouldn't say they have.
Well, their offensive line can't get any worse. Or team chemistry.
But Jake, they were already they were already that last year.
No, that's why I said they can't get any worse.
Yeah, so I think they're fine at this point. I'm gonna branch you 2 together because you know what? That's what I do. I bring people together, and that's why everybody should be a fan of me. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the 5th seed, so that connects with Jake. Then I have San Diego as my other wild card, That connects. They're the 6th seed, but they're still the other wild card. That connects with Carl picking San Diego. We connect. We bring everything together. Go follow me on Twitter at Noah Taborda.
Gosh.
Okay.
You know, I think we're all connected, and sometimes that's how we go full circle. So you should follow at Sports on Twitter, unlike Full Circle Sports.
And while everybody loves NFL football, let's be straight here. College football fans are the craziest. College football on air. That's my show. Listen to it at some time when I finally get to it.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on now to the NFC East. And I'll start for once. Because I think sometimes the host should start. I will go... You know what? Let's go, because we gotta, this is the most... This is not the funnest division to talk about, to be perfectly honest. I hate to say it, it's just not what it used to be. I want us to say our bottom 2 teams and their records, unless you're Carl, which in that case you will have no record. I'm going Giants at 5-11, Washington at 5-11. Giants get the worst spot on the tiebreak. Washington, of course, that means wins the tiebreak. Wins because they really are so upset that they're getting worse draft picks. Look, Washington's defense doesn't convince me. RG3 just doesn't seem to know how to run as a quarterback without putting his knee in the line of sight and the target of every defender. The Giants, I actually think, are a team that will... I think this record won't be indicative of actually how close they come in a lot of games. I think they'll be kind of like a Lions team from 2 years ago that lost a lot of close games and didn't make it because of that. And I think the Giants will, unfortunately, suffer from that and go 5-11. Jake, you got to go first a few times, so I'm going to give it to Carl this time. Carl, your bottom 2 teams.
My bottom 2 teams in this division, I don't think the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will... I don't think they're 8-8 again. I think they've spent enough time in mediocrity, and they're going to go below mediocrity this season. You know what? Somewhere in the 6-7 win range, just below 8-8. And below them, I have the New York Giants because, well, they're the New York Giants, and Eli Manning is on the downturn.
Jake, what do you think about this NFC East?
I really like Tony Romo, and I think that he just gets such unfair criticism from this country. But Dallas has no secondary, except for Orlando Scandrick, if that counts. I mean, they did not improve this defense nearly enough for the worst defense in the league last year. They finished last place in that division at 6-10. It's a shame because I think Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray really could have teamed that well. In third place, they're so enticing. They're they're probably the only team in this division that actually has a strong secondary. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Prince Amukamara. They have Walter Thurman and others. If you haven't figured it out yet, Antrell Roll is your final hint. It's the New York Giants finishing third place in that division at 8-8. Look for them to make some big upsets this year because the Giants are the best when you least expect them to perform.
Okay, so the third team we will say, second place in the division. Jake, you just got to speak, and you went last, so you're going to go first this time. It's like a snake draft.
I'm revealing my first place team first again?
Third! Second place third. Ugh.
Second place third?
Yes, you're revealing your second place third. Which is
okay. Well, I think that Philly and Washington are both going to go 9-7. So how about that?
That was actually your first and second team third. Carl, do you understand what second team third means? And can you give me your second team third?
I can give my second team, and it is the Washington football team.
The Washington football team! Woo! Name changes.
I think despite their horrific name lawsuit and such, and what's impending there, it's still a good football organization. And when a quarterback is hurt, specifically a mobile one, while you may not immediately see it, even just a minor discomfort can really affect their game.